Hi, fellow traders. Well, we made it through the week. It was a pretty tough week. Volatility wasn't where we wanted it to be. We didn't have the volume in the market, but toward the end of the week, we were able to grab a little bit, to make the week okay. But nothing to write home about. But really pleased with how we were able to end the week. Even more excited, had some really good mentoring sessions these last couple of days. I mean, you guys really, got a grip on what I was trying to share with you in that webinar. And you guys have done the work. You're prepared. And I think now you're seeing things a lot more clearer. Things that you might have taken for granted that you really didn't pay attention to. You're seeing. And these are the small steps that I'm talking about that's going to help you get, go great distances. Now you have to start taking these small steps. And you'd be surprised how quickly they add up and how far you can go in a short amount of time. It's just a matter of developing that patience and that discipline that we all gonna need, that we all need to exercise every day in this market. And here's a picture of me. I was on the Appalachian Trail, and these guys that hike this trail. This trail is over 2,000 miles long. Starts in Georgia and ends in Maine. But as these guys hike the trail, they're not looking at, I got 1,000 more miles to go. I got 1,900 more miles to go. They're looking at these small steps to get to the end of the trail. This Sweat Heifer Creek Trail is only 1.7 miles. The next is the Boulevard Trail, 2.7. And then as they get close, then once they get those, there are going to be some other small steps that they can, accomplish on the trail. So that's how these guys make it. They're not looking. They look at where they want to get to the end, but they're really focusing on these small steps, these small stops along the way. And they know if they continue to make these small stops, eventually they're going to get to the end. And you're going to be there a lot quicker than, you even think. And we can really use that in our trading. We take these small steps, and before we know it, we're going to be where we want to be. Those of us that want to work our way out of our job, we will have worked our way out of the job. And me, I'm not looking to be a millionaire. I mean, it won't be long before I get there, but that's not what I'm looking for. What I'm looking for was freedom. The freedom to choose. Not to have to get up and answer to any boss. But it's funny, I turned in one boss and now I've got like 240 others. So I work for all of you guys in the community now, which is funny, but this is the work that I love doing. So I don't mind waking up, working for you guys every day. That's totally different than getting up, working for a boss that, drives you insane, working for, a Barney Fife type assistant principal. It's just crazy. But it's about freedom. And it took, all of these small steps over 2.5 years to get me to where I could walk away. And I want to see you guys do it too. So I'm really, really pumped about, where we're going. And like I said, this year, 2019, it's going to be our year. It's going to be our year. So next week is first week in December. Like I said, I'm gonna start setting up on our Wednesday webinars. I'm gonna start setting up how to make a living on day trading. There's some things that you're gonna have to start looking at and start preparing for as we go forward. Things you want to look, because we need to hit the ground in January running. So next month is we're going to use those webinars to, help us make sure we have everything in order and be prepared to hit the ground running. All right, so let's take a look. Oh man, the SPY today. Now this is a little bit more extended because the DOS charts keep running after the market closes. I'm going to show you where the market actually closed. It actually closed below the 20. So we didn't close above it, but we are trading above it. And I think we're still trading above it now. And it's about 5:30 or so. And we are still trading above this 20. We haven't breached the 50 yet. But you can see we did have a little bit more volume today than we had yesterday. Which was, pretty good, being that this was Friday. So that may be setting us up going into next week. We'll wait and we'll see what it does here. But, it blew through the 20. And, is taking out the 200 now. So I don't know if we're going to turn here, and pull back. But here we made a higher low. And if we make a higher high here, then we can say we're on a road to recovery here. We probably won't be selling off much, which sucks because I make more money when the market is selling. It's a lot easier for me to make money when the market is selling off. Like through here and through here, it was easy. But when the market goes up, don't have as easy a time to make money. But nevertheless, we're going to make some. So I'm going to look to see where we close today, and then where we pick up Sunday evening about 8 o'clock. That's when I think it starts trading again, and just kind of see where we are. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what comes out of the summit this weekend and how it's going to affect, if at all, the U.S. economy and all that good stuff. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. And here's where it actually closed. This is the Thinkorswim chart. And this is where we closed, right below the 200. We dipped above it. Not dipped above it, but we kind of stretched above it and then came back, and we actually closed below the 200. So it's trading above it after market, like I said, but we'll just have to wait and see where the aftermarket action stops and then where it picks up on Sunday night. All right, so PAGS, this was one that we had on watch. Now, unfortunately, this one was on short sale restriction, of course. Yeah, everything is on short sale restriction. But nowadays, but it looked like it had a pretty nice setup. Here's the 52-week low. Here's kind of where we were trading this morning. So I'm thinking, hey, we had a pretty significant gap down. We should be able to potentially test or get close. So, I had this on watch, and I was pretty excited about the opportunity that this thing gave. So, of course, when it set up, I gave it a shot. Now here we, here's the first 5-minute candle. We set the 5-minute low. This candle opened, started to sell off. Was able to get in. It was kind of hard getting in because this stock was selling pretty hard, but was able to get in. And I guess you guys saw the order sit there for a little bit. Didn't sit there long. The first time I tried to get in, it didn't work. I had to cancel the order. But this one, it did come up and catch. Carbon copy of the stock we traded the other day. I can't remember the ticker. Was it TIF? TIF, I think. Did the same thing. It was on short sale restriction. We had a nice hard sell. I was able to catch profit halfway between my target. My target was 21, which was, not 21. Yeah, 21. My target was 21, which was halfway between where I got in and the 52-week low. And then the next target was a test of the 52-week low. So, I got halfway there, was able to take some profit, and I noticed the same type price action I saw on tip. And really, I should have killed it. But what I'm going to do this weekend is go back and look at the last couple of weeks of these stocks that I've been getting in that's on SSR and kind of trying to watch what it is. I'm going to go back and replay it on demand and try to follow and see if I can identify some similarities on level 2 and time and sales in terms of what I can see that's going to help give me an indication that we may be changing directions pretty quick. And this was a pretty quick change. So before I could even put my stop in, we had blown past my entry. So had I had my stop in, I probably would have got another 20 plus cent slippage on it. So I just waited and then I manually did it. And only gave up like 1 cent on this off the entry price. But that was as perfect as it can get. But this is one, it just didn't go. Had the setup. I was looking for it to hit 52-week low. It just did not go. So we got what we could and we moved on. So MAR, this was another one that was on watch. And this Marriott had the bad news from that data breach. And I really thought this would get wrecked. We had a gap down, but it just didn't get wrecked. But you can see we had some levels here that, gave some pretty decent targets. And I thought we could, we could sell off pretty good. But we didn't. I didn't take it, for the opening range over here because you can see how crazy it traded. Didn't really give us an opening range trade. Kind of a little flag here. Then it popped. And here we were making lower highs, lower lows. So once we got on the VWAP the second time, I took it and had to be very patient. Here's the technical level was VWAP, but because the 20 was so close, my stop was going to be if it closed over it, or, I gave it a 50 cent or 70 cent stop. I can't remember. I think I gave it, I only got in 200 shares. So I gave it a 50 cent stop. 115.70 was my stop. So I gave it a 50 cent stop, and I just let it work. Held it through lunch. We were still beating down. We were still beating down under the 9. The 20 finally crossed below the VWAP. Was just showing good weakness, and then it made the move. I got some here. Took some here at my target, 114.05. And what I was supposed to do, at first I had an order here, a bid here to take off 100 shares, the 100 shares I had left. And then I was like, no, this thing may get down to 113 today because we started picking up some momentum. And I'm like, well, let me change this to 50. So I put 50, a bid in for 50 at 14.05. That bid hit, but I forgot I left that order on at 114 for 100, that buy order. So when it hit 114, almost, let's see, 6 seconds after it hit this one, it hit 114, and it ended up making me long 50 shares. So it closed out the last 50, and that was perfect, but I was long 50. And it looked like it was going to have trouble getting over the 9 here. So I just went ahead and took it off. It was only 50 shares and probably just covered the commissions on the execution. But you can see it ran right up the VWAP. You know, if I had held on to this, I would have added a good little penny. Well, not a good little penny, but some extra money to what we made today. But being that the day was as slow as it was and as tough as it was, you know, being patient and waiting on the setup to come to us, this is what we do. Now, some of you guys, you know, say you could be bored, you know, or whatever. You know, boredom is what breaks traders, especially new traders, because they think they have to trade all the time. You don't. You trade when your strategies say you trade. And if your strategies are not working that day and the market says no, then you don't trade. But if you want to go against them and trade anyway, you're going to lose money. And if you do, serves you right. Because one of the things that you have to learn is if the market is not in your favor, if you don't have the edge that day, you don't trade. It's just that simple. The market will be open tomorrow or the next day. Or if it's Friday, it'll be open Monday. You know, unless it's a holiday. But the point is the market will reopen at some point. And you'll have the opportunity to get back in, get engaged, and do what you need to do. So today we got 208.88. You know, only traded in the small account today. There was nothing, you know, the market wasn't tanking, it wasn't selling off, so no need to jump in. The volatility stuff, no earnings report, you know, after the close on Friday, so you know, there are no earnings. So it's pretty simple day. Simple, straightforward day. 208.88. And that really puts us, let's see where that puts us for the week. In the small account, remember we took that big loss on Tuesday? Well, I took that big loss. I'm trying to put it on your shoulders too, so I don't have to carry that burden all alone. But pretty big loss day there, and kind of made it up, but only ended up in the small account green 199.63. But hey, we're green. We're adding to our total. And on top of that, we are over the $6,000 mark. So you guys that were with me all during this summer, that was just oh God, I don't even want to think about how bad it was. You know, but if you stuck with me and you hung out, you saw how we turned this thing around. How we waited, the market came around, we were able to take advantage of some opportunities, and we made it happen. And this is just a small account. I'm separating everything from the small account and my main account. They're two different ones, so you see the difference. So the main account's what carried the day, the week. Really, it was those two swings, and the only reason I'm bringing them in here is because those trades were technically, they were not supposed to be swings like that. I was trading them in my speed trader account, and that's my day trading account. But you know, I broke a rule in turning day trades into swing trades, but in this case it paid off. But I'm not going to make a habit of doing that. I've got a swing account that I'm supposed to take swing trades in, and I got to make sure I do that, and I keep that separate. But everything we do in day trading, in the day trading accounts, I am sharing with you, and you get to see them, live in chat. Now I get asked sometimes, why don't I record the live trades and play them? It's because some of these trades, a lot of my trades last like this. This trade was almost 2 hours long. And chopping up and cutting video does not teach you a thing. That's why I stream it live. So if you're in chat, you get to see the trades, happen live. Taping it and editing it and only showing you what I want to show you is not going to work. That doesn't help, and I don't want to be that person. So you want to see it live, you got to join the community. You can watch it live all day, every day. Except when I go to lunch, if I'm leaving the house, I'm going to log out. I'm not going to leave it logged in. But other than that, it's going to run, all day, and you get to see everything that we do. I've got traders that focus on the morning, and we've got that strategy in the afternoon, the earning strategy, where we trade aftermarket, and you can position yourself, toward the close. I have traders that work all day, and they just focus on trading the earnings, and they do pretty good. But it's just a matter of understanding where you are, and making do with what you got. It doesn't matter how little you have or how little time you have. If you maximize it, your efficiency, if you have a process that you follow every day, that's going to allow you to maximize the time that you do have, you have a very good chance of being successful. That's what I had to do in teaching. I had to stop whining, bitching, moaning, and complaining every night about not having time to do this, not having time to do that. I want to trade. I want to learn how to trade. And then, somebody told me, just flat told me, stop crying, bitching, moaning, and complaining about what you don't have. Make use of what you do have. And, that was the best advice I ever got. It was a slap in the face. I kind of got hot under the collar for a minute. But when I thought about it, I was like, they're right. I'm acting like a big baby. And we need to make that change. So it's just a matter of maximizing the effectiveness of the time that you have. Focused. Developing a process that you can repeat day in and day out. Build some consistency in what you do. That's what mentoring is all about. That's what the mentoring sessions are for. It, as an individual, it helps you put these things together and understand when are your most effective times in the market where you can focus 100% on what you're doing, and works great. So you guys have a great night, a great weekend. I'll be back Sunday with Rolling with Ed, rain or shine. And we're going to be standing in the rain at the football game tomorrow. I know that for a fact. But doesn't matter. We'll do our Rolling with Ed. I got a pretty good session lined up for that. So excited about 2019. I'm telling you. Everything is just rolling right along. So you guys, again, have a great weekend. And if I don't see you Sunday, I'll catch you guys Monday morning.